Good afternoon, Western Oregon sports fans, and welcome to this edition of Wolves Weekly. I'm joined today by head football coach Arne Ferguson. Coach Ferg, it's always nice to talk to you after a win, and we're able to do that this week.
Yep, big one, especially being down early. Dixie's always a tough place to play, and our kids fought back, and really our offense was able to score, I believe, 31 unanswered points in the second half, and defense we settled down and gave them one touchdown in the second half. And the first half didn't go our way, but it didn't stop our kids. They kept on fighting hard and being very successful.
And we know it's always important to get those wins, but more especially in conference.
Yes.
You're able to move to 3-1 in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference with this win over Dixie. Tell me why it's always, maybe you gear up a little bit more for those conference games and why those ones are especially important.
In our conference is really competitive. Dixie's a very hard place to play. We know in the past playing down there, they're a much better team in their facility. They had a brand new turf, a great place to play. And they were very excited to play us, and it was a tough game. They jumped on us early. But to get a conference game on the road is very important. And as things unfold, it's going to be very close to see who wins the GNAC title. And Central and ourselves are both have won losses in the conference. Humboldt's doesn't have any. I believe they're 4-0. So, but we all play each other, and we play Central here coming up soon. But so things will unfold. It'll be very tricky, and you got to win those conference games one at a time. And
one of the key players in this performance for you to get a win was Caleb Singleton, your safety. He was able to earn Great Northwest Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Week for his performance. So tell us a little bit about Caleb Singleton.
Caleb Singleton, I mean, he's 6'4", weighs 210. He's all over the field. He had 2 interceptions, a block kick elevated on his own, and then as you'll see on these clips, him just being able to really go up high for a football and take it away from a well-thrown ball. So he's, we think one of the best safeties, if not the best in our conference. And we need him to play well, continue to play well. But he leads our conference in interceptions with 5, and he's just a great overall player.
And to talk about him, I mean, it's great that when he can step up on defense. But however, as you mentioned, 31 unanswered points has to say that your offense was rolling on all cylinders that day.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your offense and how you guys were able to get that spark and score 31 unanswered points.
First of all, we're glad to get AJ back, AJ Robinson. His production was extremely high, and as far as his percentage of completed balls, basically around almost, I want to say, I don't know exactly, but like 23 of 32, somewhere around there for almost 300 yards. And there weren't big passes. You can see him checking down to Darryl Valdez here. You see him also running for first downs. He just did a really nice job of managing the football, managing our first downs, and using tons of receivers. I think we had like 6 or 7 receivers with multiple catches. And obviously Justin Orr is our big play receiver right now. His touchdown and his other touchdown, but also him be able to run and people bounce off of him. I mean, he's 6'3", 205 too, and he's very physical. You see him take a slant here, and he just pushes inside and able to accelerate. So we feel that Justin Orr is also one of the better receivers in our conference, if not one of the best. But his able to step up and being consistent, and his leadership is also very well understood within our team. He comes to play game after game after game, and he plays hard.
Well, as you mentioned right there, A.J. Robinson seemed to have got it going a little bit with these wide receivers, having a good connection with them. Justin Orr, as we mentioned, had 2 touchdowns. I believe it was 5 receptions. And Trevor Gates ended up having 6 receptions, and he spread it out. I think it was to 9 receivers, actually. Just tell us how important it is when you can have one part of your offense rolling really well. Yeah,
and, well, A.J.'s number one. Your quarterback always has to play well. And we thought as the game progressed, he kept on playing better and better, especially since early, last week, we didn't play against Southern. So he had a week off, so we were always worried about him being rusty. But he came in and jumped in and did some very, very good things. Our O-line's continuing to get better, so that helps. But A.J. really, his mental preparation on this game was right on track. I mean, he's throwing very sharp, crisp balls to multiple receivers. I mean, everybody understands that DeMario Ballard's our big play receiver. And he's playing okay right now. He's going to play better in the future. But people are also doing things to compensate for him, which opens up multiple people to get the football from A.J.
Well, and in a game like this, when you put up 40 points on the board, everybody wants to sit there and talk about offense, talk about A.J. Robinson, talk about the passing game. But it was your defense that really came through with a couple big plays in this game. And although 27 points might have been scored against them, they still were able to bend but not break.
Yeah, well, our DBs, really our corners, just need to get more experience. They're having some big plays happen to them. So those things will happen in a game, especially on the road. We need to be more consistent in that area and working hard to do that. But you also see our defense stepping up. You have Levi coming in, getting a sack. You got Sherman, Virtue right here, coming in, making big plays, along with Robert Young. Robert Young, 4th and 1. I believe it was our middle linebacker, Vincent, that hit him. Not exactly sure. There's a big pile there. Then Robert Young takes it and scoots for a touchdown to really seal things for us. Then it was a very close ball game, but that play right there, 4th and 1 on their territory, really helped us.
And as we mentioned before, that Robert Young one, it really that was the final scoring in your 31-0 run. Nice to see the defense get in on that scoring side of the ball and stuff too. But down the stretch, you're able to really seal the victory too with a couple of interceptions there. Bryce Pila comes through with one that's really big. And then in the 4th quarter, Caleb Singleton was able to earn his Defensive Player of the Week honors almost for his 2 4th-quarter interceptions that really killed 2 drives for them.
You'll see Bryce Pila here. It was almost like a double reverse pass throwback. Pila's free over the top, and he did his job. He stayed patient and goes up high for a really good pick, in the end zone. And also Caleb Singleton's pick was also in the end zone. So anytime you can step up in the red zone and play good defense, but also take the ball away from opportunities for whether it's a field goal or a touchdown later on, and give the ball back to your offense.
Well, everybody focuses always on offense and defense too, but there is a third facet to the game, your special teams.
Yes.
And so tell me a little bit about special teams and how they came through for a couple of plays this week.
First of all, Trevor Roush has stepped up, and his all-purpose yards is extremely high. This is like a 50-yard return here. Kelly Morgan's playing well. Buki's playing well, Scott Buki. And Devin Wells, our snapper, comes down here and makes a really nice hit here, grabbing ankles. So nice to see him run. He's also a backer for us. But all those guys have really done a nice job in their role. And so those guys have kept on getting better and better throughout the year.
And, well, the season never gets any easier, does it, Coach? In the midway, you got another GNAC matchup this week, this time at a Western Oregon home game up in Seattle. You guys are going to take on Central Washington. Tell us about the opportunity for the fans here, the Western Oregon fans, and just about football fans in general to watch this game.
First of all, the Quest experience, the play up at Seahawks Stadium, Quest Field, that can't, honestly, for our players, it doesn't get any better than that. They get to play in an NFL stadium, NFL locker room. It's a loud environment. On TV, they talk about it being loud. I mean, it was loud for us even last year. So a lot of our alumni are getting used to the event and coming to that. So it's nice to see. But for our players, we play Central Washington, which is an extremely good team, probably the most talented team in our conference. And so that's going to be a really big test for us, both offensively and defense. Their defense is extremely tough. They move around well, and they really fly to the football. Offensively, they spread it out, and their quarterback in the last game, I'm not sure if he missed a pass. He was all over the board, second year starting, even though he's a sophomore, making great plays. And the running backs do a really nice job of hitting things vertical and going downhill. So it's going to be an extremely tough game for us. It's an exciting game. Last year, we were up 21-0 at halftime, and they ended up kicking a field goal with like 30 seconds left, and we missed one with 11 seconds left. So it's going to be down to the wire, we think, on 2 very good football teams.
And there are still opportunities available for Western Oregon fans or any fans out there to still enjoy this game. You can call the number on the screen right now, 503-838-8449, or you can visit Ticketmaster.com for your opportunity to see the battle in Seattle between the Western Oregon Wolves and the Central Washington Wildcats, and support on the Western Oregon football team in this great Northwest Athletic Conference battle. Both teams are currently sitting in second place with 3-1 records, trailing Humboldt State, but we know you have to take one game at a time in order to get that one back.
You bet. And then people that come up, a lot of people have asked me, there's something going on Friday night, check the website. There's a little social going on there. Then also there's a pre-function in Seahawks Stadium for Western Oregon fans. So those things are really nice for a university to stand behind. We got buses coming up, and it'll be a great venue for all of us.
Well, thank you, Arne. Thanks for filling me in on that extra information. And as Arne mentioned, the alumni event prior to the game starts at 3 o'clock in the FSN Lounge located in Quest Field. So we hope to see you all there, and we hope to see you all at the game. So thank you very much for joining us on this edition of Wolf.